This man has a magical ability. Any woman who looks at him for 3 seconds will fall in love with him. The man just walked out of a girl's room. Before his body could recover, he met another pretty girl. They looked at each other and the man went back to bed. That's why he's always late for work. He calls his boss and tells him to be right there. But he didn't realize the cab driver was a woman. The driver kept looking at him in the rearview mirror and thought about the car horn to help him cover. And that was it. He excused himself from the traffic jam and started again. Mike arrived at the office. The client had been waiting for him for a long time. With his eloquence, Mike was able to get the big order easily. Then the boss called Mike to his office. Mike thought the boss was going to give him a promotion. The boss told Mike that he was fired because all the women in the company had slept with him, even the boss's daughter. Mike apologized and said, "We're in love." He apologized for the boss's daughter and his wife. When the boss heard that, he got even more angry, and his wife too. He got angry and told Mike to get out. When the employees found out that Mike had left the company, they were more upset than Mike. They cried for him. Some of his female co-workers wanted to go with him. Mike had to say goodbye to them. When he got back to his apartment, Mike ran into his new neighbor. They looked at each other for a few seconds. Mike carried his stuff into the house. After a busy day, Mike came home. Uncle heard that Mike had been fired. He knew Mike's problem. He advised him to be faithful in love. Mike didn't give it a second thought. He thought he'd find a job easily. Mike started the interview, but the bosses all made the same gesture because his ex-boss had spread the word. All the companies knew what he could do. Even the female boss was just trying him out. They also rejected him. Mike returned home disappointed. "You're mentally ill," said his uncle. A recruiting firm called. They told him he'd been accepted. Mike went to the office and saw that it was all men. Mike was relieved. He wouldn't be fired again. Later that night, Uncle opened the champagne for Mike to celebrate. They danced the night away. But his uncle soon realized there was a problem. The owner of this company was a beautiful model, and her husband was a gangster. Mike took one look and knew he wouldn't be able to resist. For the sake of his own life, Mike decided to cure himself. His uncle called a hypnotist for him. The hypnotist began to hypnotize Mike, but Michael was not hypnotized. But the women were mesmerized by Mike. Uncle got Michael a witch. The witch was going to heal Michael with her spells. And so it was. The witch, who had been single for 35 years, was subdued. Having tried everything, Mike was exhausted. But this weekend, he was summoned by the president. Mike looked at the poster on the wall and closed his eyes in agony. Luckily, his uncle had some good news for him. He found a female psychiatrist. Mike was just trying to give it a try. His powers didn't work on Annie. Annie had no feelings for him, and so they began their therapy.